Sanibonani, Dumelang, Abasheni, Tobela, Assalamu alaikum. Hello, my name is Dumela Myla Kid, and this is the Myla Talk Show. You can follow me on all my social platforms, and if this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please remember to click that subscribe button and tap that notification bell as well to get notified when new videos get released. Not forgetting to give this video a thumbs up to indicate that you like the content and you would like more of this content. So, you remember in the year 2018 when we were celebrating Nelson Mandela's 100th year on Earth? Well, although he was not here, the thing is that he had important value in this country and he had to be recognized. So, for his 100th birthday celebration, new banknotes were introduced in the country, which consisted of his face and many other things that had to do with the history of our country, most likely that were directed to Nelson Mandela. Now, 5 years later, here we are, 2023, we have got the upgrade of the Nelson Mandela banknotes. Today, we are going to be discussing all the changes that have taken place, as well as the interesting features that are on the banknotes. Without wasting any further time, it's time for hashtag Let's Have a Talk. Let's do this. The South African newly upgraded banknotes, available in the market from the 4th of May 2023. Now, these banknotes and coins, which are known as the 4th decimal coin series, were designed or upgraded with enhanced security features, as well as designs which are indicating celebrations of our heritage as a country. Well, the central bank said we have added the South African flag, the preamble of our constitution, into micro-lettering, as well as the Big Five depicted as a family. Now, the deep ecology of the theme of the 4th decimal coin series is that it celebrates our interconnectedness with other living organisms. How interesting is that? As well as another interesting fact, which is that the specifications of the new coins were already known at the beginning of this year, 2023, only for the notes to be displayed right now when we are being introduced to the change or to the upgrade of the banknotes and the coins as a whole. You will see that the South African flag is at the back of your note. So if you turn to the back of your note from the front, you will notice that on the top left corner there is the South African flag. Now, when we are talking about the preamble of our constitution, which I believe is the Bill of Our Rights, if you see the face of Nelson Mandela, surrounding his head is all those preamble of our constitution, those preambles of our constitution. That's where they reside, above the head of Nelson Mandela. And for the interesting thing, which also resides at the back of the note, it is the Big Five, which is depicted as a family. For example, when we are looking at the 10 rand note, we do see a rhino and we see a rhino key. When we are looking at the 20 rand note, we do see the elephant and the elephant key. Well, there's the other elephant, which I do not know whether it's the mother elephant or what. But right now, the Big Five does not stand as an individual. It is depicted as a family. Now, besides the Big Five being depicted as a family, as one of the biggest changes on the banknotes, another interesting thing, or another thing that we can consider as a huge change, is the color of the banknotes, which is slightly deeper. I believe the banknotes in the past used to be lighter, but the newly introduced banknotes are now darker. And a more precise example would actually be the 50 rand note, which has been newly introduced. So what you will notice on the 50 rand note is that it is now more purple than it actually was pink. So the pink color is still there. However, the purple color is the one which catches your eye as you look at the 50 rand note. What I can safely conclude from this banknotes is that there's not necessarily a change from what we had in the past, although there is a change, because I personally feel like the new notes seem like there's some elements that are lacking from the notes that we are used to. We feel like there's some elements that are lacking on that note. You actually feel like it is fake. If ever you did not know that the changes are going to be made when it comes to our banknotes, then you would actually feel like someone is trying to rip you off. I literally promise you that you would feel like someone is trying to rip you off. Besides that, when we talk about the 10 rand note, to be specific, the 10 rand note is still the same, although the back feels like it's a combination of the 100 rand note as well as the 10 rand note combined together, because that's how the two colors are combined at the back of the note. Now, when we go for the 20 rand note, the front of the 20 rand note seems like it was the 50 rand note that was replaced. You know, the 50 rand note replaced the 20 rand note, although the value is still the value of the 20 rand note. The 50 rand note replaced the 20 rand note, and then as you turn it, you go to the back of the note, you come across the actual 20 rand colors that we do know, which is that brown or khaki color, if you know what I mean. And for the 50 rand note, like we discussed earlier, the 50 rand note is no longer the 50 rand that we know, which is all pink. The 50 rand note is now purple. There's that pink that we know, but then the pink that we are used to is no longer coming in that form. It comes in a totally different form, and I promise you it is going to surprise you. And then there's the 100 rand note, which is slightly darker. You know, it's slightly darker than the actual color that we are used to. Then same goes for the 200 rand note. Now the 200 rand note, I feel like it's a bit way too orange than the 200 rand that we are used to. However, the interesting thing about all these notes is that as you turn them around, you are going to see the big five being depicted as a family. And I promise you, for every note that you're going to come across, the picture is interesting. It really is interesting. And now for the mistake that everyone has been talking about, especially the Setsonga speaking people, they say that the new 100 rand note consists of a mistake when it came to the translation. So, as we all know, all the bank notes have got a translation of the phrase South African Reserve Bank in different languages that come from the 11 official languages that we consider as our country's languages. So basically, the 100 rand note consists of the Setsonga translation at the bottom part. So in the previous notes, what you would notice is that the translation was Banginkulu instead of Bangikulu. What we have right now is Bangikulu instead of Banginkulu. So the Tsonga speaking people are claiming that Banginkulu was the correct term, is actually the correct term, and what we have right now is actually a mistake. While the bank, or the experts as they call themselves, say that the bank notes from the past were actually the ones that consisted of mistakes, while these new bank notes were not consisting of any mistakes at all. The old banknotes consisted of mistakes, while the new banknotes do not consist of any mistakes. Now, the real question is, who do we believe? Do we believe the people that speak the actual language, the people that were raised speaking the language, the people that actually went to school and learned the language? It's either as a first additional or even as a home language. Who do we believe? Or do we believe an expert that we do not even know, that we've never even heard of or seen? We just know that they're an expert and they claim that there was no mistake. Who do we believe? Who do we believe? And another thing is that if the old banknotes consisted of mistakes, are you trying to tell me that they saw that mistake all this time and they just didn't feel like repairing it? Even when the notes were first upgraded in 2018, they still didn't make any changes. Why make the changes right now? I personally believe that they made a mistake right now. They just do not want to own up to it. as usual. Let's also talk about the new significant changes on the coins. Starting with the 5 Rand coin, as we all know, the 5 Rand coin consisted of the iconic world beast known as the black world beast. Right now, it is going to be replaced by the southern right whale. However, the value is still going to remain the same, as it is still going to retain its bimetal alloy consisting of a 9.5 grams weight and a diameter of 26 millimeters. The 2 Rand coin has replaced the kudu with a springbok that resulted from a 1 Rand coin and shifts its borders for a more diamond shape. The 2023 circulation is going to consist of a nickel-plated steel instead of a nickel-plated copper from before, causing it to weigh more from 5.5 grams to 6.5 grams. The 1 Rand coin replaces the springbok with South Africa's official flower, the protea, and it has got a pentagonal border. So, same as the 2 Rand coin, the 1 Rand coin is also going to be nickel plated, which will cause it to weigh a bit more heavier than the previous coin at 5 grams. The 50 cent coin is dropping the Strelitzia, the bird of paradise, for an actual bird, and the lure is making its debut into circulation. So it is still going to remain as its bronze plated. However, its weight is going to be 0.5 grams lighter than the actual old 10 cent coin. Now, the promotion of the protea to the 1 Rand has left the 20 cent with nothing, although it needs to be replaced with another plant. So it is going to be replaced by the alu plant, and just like the 50 cent, the 20 cent is going to remain bronze plated and is going to be slightly lighter when it comes to its weight. And the borders of the coin are going to change from being nonagonal to heptagonal. Just like the 50 cent borders, they went from nonagonal to hexagonal. And for South Africa's smallest domination, the 10 cent, it is bidding farewell to the aram lily and making its way to the honey bee. So its borders are also going to change from nonagonal to octagonal, meaning that it's dropping one side of its borders, and the size, the makeup, and the weight are still going to remain the same. Please remember to place your thoughts in that comment section, because at the end of the day, this is everyone's conversation and everyone is free to state whatever is on their mind. Without wasting any further time, it's time for us to get to the end of our show. Please remember to click that subscribe button, tap that notification bell to get notified when new videos get released, not forgetting to give this video a thumbs up. My name is Mandela Kid. Thank you for joining me. See you next time right here on YouTube. It's Milo Entertainment. Aware.